Okay, so this is a story that it happened February 20th, 2020. And it says, the father of two sues Los Angeles hospital after wife dies during childbirth. She's just not our priority now. This is what a father of two was told when he told staff at an LA hospital his wife was not well after giving birth. Kyra Johnson Wright and her husband Charles Johnson with their oldest son. She's just not our priority now. This is what a father of two was told when he tried to inform the staff at a Los Angeles hospital about his wife giving birth to their second child. It says the tragedy is nothing new for black women. Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women, according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. The American Heart Association reported racism and a dismissal of complaints of black women by medical authorities are the main reasons behind the deaths, experts say. It's basically a public health and human rights emergency because it's been estimated that a significant portion of these deaths could be prevented. It says Dr. Anna Lager, director of the Women in Health Initiative at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health in Boston. Basically, black women are undervalued. They are not monitored as carefully as white women are. When they do present with symptoms, they are often dismissed and no one is immune. A tennis icon, Serena Williams, has spoken of her own incident when her complaints after giving birth were at first dismissed by hospital staff when she had persisted. Racism affects so many things before the patient even gets to the clinical counter. Both implicit bias and cultural racism affect how many women are cared for in the healthcare system, said Dr. Allison Bryant Matha, Vice Chair of Quality, Equity, and Safety in the Obstetrics and Gynecology Department of Massachusetts. General Hospital in Boston. And since after giving birth, Kyra Johnson was experiencing complications. Her husband, Charles Johnson, informed the staff at Cedars Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, I could see the Foley catheter coming from Kyra's bedside beginning to turn pink with blood. I just held her by the hand and said, please look, my wife isn't doing well. This woman looked at me directly in my eyes and said, sir, your wife isn't a priority right now. Hours later, she was finally looked at by staff. This is when Kyra went back to surgery, he had opened her up. There were 3.5 liters of blood in her abdomen. Where they had allowed to bleed internally for almost 10 hours. Her heart stopped immediately. He is now suing Cedars Sinai Medical Center over the death of his wife. A successful entrepreneur who spoke 5 languages, she could fly planes and skydive and seem invincible to the family, but she died in childbirth. Cedars Sinai said in a statement it could not respond directly because of privacy laws, but any situation where there concerns medical care. It says Johnson always wants to use his wife's case to shed light on the maternal mortality crisis in which African American women are the highest victims, and he had launched for Cure for Moms, an advocacy group to bring more attention to the crises. It says we are in the mindset of maternal mortality crisis that isn't just shameful for American standards, but it's shameful on a global scale. But to me, looking at this, since I know more information now, and I know that most black women in America are indigenous American Negroes, and since there were not a lot of African males and females brought over to America, less than 300,000, and it was actually most of the people here are actually indigenous to America. To me, this looks like genocide because whites, they know that they having a hard time reproducing, and that our people are definitely outproducing them, reproducing our children. So this is an act of genocide in the medical field, and this is the reason why our people, like this man here, why we should not just sue, but we should go to make a complaint to the United Nations for human rights violations against our people. And when it comes to, and also making a complaint also when it comes to reproductive rights, when it comes to women. That's something that, also should be addressed and at the United Nations in order for there to be change to be made. But this is really a shame, and I feel like it definitely is a human rights violation, but it is also an act of genocide as well. So tell me, what do you think about this? Um, Please like, share, and subscribe.